So this beauty of a Dodge Aspen, I think it's a 78 or 79, I don't even know, wound up in my backyard. Don't really know how, but it's here, and we're going to make this thing run and drive after sitting for 17 years. So before we even get started, let's take a little quick walk around of this beautiful car. Honestly, I love it. It's not a really popular vehicle, but it is straight, it's solid, it's a boxy four-door, and if you guys know me, you know that I love boxy four-doors. This really fits the bill, and it's just a late 70s smog era Chrysler product that was underpowered. I mean, I love them, but they just didn't sell well, and this is whenever Chrysler was really having issues financially. So what we've got, this is some kind of metallic blue that's really pretty, to be honest. Look inside, seats still look really nice inside. The carpet could use a cleaning. The dash is a little cracked, but all in all, it's not a bad car. It smells absolutely disgusting. I think this is death. Probably. Yep, that's a good death smell. Yep, smell. Come back here, same thing with the back seat. There's that. Anyway, we've got a lot of work to do, so what we're going to do now is check out the front, assess the damage that we've got going on with the hood. So for starters, we noticed that the hood doesn't really latch the way it's supposed to. Don't really know why, but we'll do that later. So what we've got under the hood here is yeah, okay. So what we've got under the hood here is a dumpster fire. This is the 318 with spark control system, or your lean burn. That's what they called it in the mid-80s, and it's basically trash. I don't like it. There's some guys out there who like it. Yours truly does not, so that'll have to be converted to a normal electronic ignition at some point. But what you'll have to do is leave that plugged in so the thing will actually run, which is stupid. It looks like we've got a Reman carburetor, so that's kind of nice. And emissions control, nonsense. We'll just leave all of that the way it is. We've got power steering, air conditioning, there are power brakes. Yeah, power brakes on it too. The odds of any of that working is slim to none. Our clutch fan is free in the wind, so that's good. Coolant. That's a negative Ghost Rider. Probably for the best. So, first assessment, see if this thing is even locked up. Put a breaker bar on the crank there and see if it'll actually spin over. If it looks like it'll spin over, then check the oil in it. If it looks good, put some gas to it. If that looks good, turn the key. If that looks good, should run. In all seriousness though, this car looks like it's pretty much untouched its entire life. Everything seems to be in the factory location, so that's going to be helpful for us whenever we try to make this thing run. So this is a little close up there, electronic spark control system, which they later called like lean burn, something, I don't really know. Don't really care for it, like I said, but just want to give you guys a really close up look of everything. Everything looks like it's been pretty much untouched, and that's a good thing. So just to look inside here, we're seeing 90,000 miles. And honestly, as nice as this car is, believe it or not, I think that's accurate. So we're going to try that And we actually have a key for this one, so that's good. The brakes, looks like the pedal's all the way down to the floor, so maybe that's non-existent. We're not going to worry about that just yet. So, door panels actually still look nice. Usually the driver's side is shot by the time you get to one of these cars for sitting so long. And this side is fairly straight. I mean, it's got the rubber molding falling off, but there's a dent in that fender right in this area right here. But other than that, it's not that bad. It's got some rust, just a tiny bit of rust right there. So for sitting for 17 years and being a bankruptcy-ridden Chrysler, it's still not a bad car. So what we're going to do, we'll start checking fluids, see what we got. I don't think the car's stuck. I don't think the engine is stuck at all. I stuck a breaker bar on it. It did turn over, so I think we'll be okay in that front. So what we'll do is we will drop a battery in here in this non-existent battery tray. Once again, Chrysler. What's going on? Well, maybe there is. Nope. And there's the hole. So that's good. That's what that's there. We'll just cover that up like it didn't happen. So like I said, we'll drop a battery in. Then we will see if anything comes on, see if any lights happen. And I've got an electric fuel pump, so we'll just bypass the mechanical just in case. Took this battery out of my charger, so this thing better run. The battery's from 2011, so let's just hope that it's good enough to last us for maybe running for at least 10 seconds. But that is if it doesn't explode in the process. So, ooh, I hear sparks. Is the key on? Well, she might get power. Okay, that's a good sign. Alright, we'll come over here, see how much oil we got. And it's oily. We'll consider that significant. Alright. I guess we'll just hook up our electric fuel pump real quick. Put a little bit of gas down the carburetor. Looks like the choke's not a thing. That's good. The linkage freed up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. Looks like our linkage is all free, so that's not bad. This thing is weird that it sat for so long. I don't understand it. So let's put that fuel pump on. We just need to take a second and admire the beauty that is these original hubcaps. I did not air these tires up, by the way. They've been holding air this entire time. They held air when I got the car, so I think they've been holding air for at least 17 years. So heck, I didn't do anything. Pretty simple. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. Look at the crud that's just grown up on this thing. Like I said, it is a Dodge Aspen, and honestly, it's kind of a rare car. Now, rare doesn't mean valuable, but rare does mean rare. So pretty neat the fact that it's still all together in one piece. Oh, we didn't even check in the glove box yet. Wonder what's in here. Whoa, okay. I just noticed this. So I bet that's why our brake pedal's to the floor. So we have one brake light. The other one does not work. Oh, is it the dome light? I think the dome light's on. What? Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's pull our headlight switch and see if that does anything. No way. That's pretty awesome. Wow. Okay, now let's try our high beams. Let's see if we can get lucky with that. Oh, wait, real quick, we'll check our tail lights. Yeah, so I guess this bulb is shot over here. That's okay. Not a big issue at all. Let's see if we can make our high beam switch work. Oh, so that was high beams. We got low beams and high beams. Check that out. That's wild. Okay, let me pick the brake pedal up off the floor. See if that can't. Let me try and take the brake pedal off the floor here real quick. And let's see if our lights kick off. Yeah, that's what it was. That was the brake light. So now let me turn the headlight switch. Oh wait, it's still on. Okay, so there are no lights in the back. No big deal. That's okay. We don't need them. Alright, so maybe the wiring's not so bad. Alright, so you guys have seen me do this before, actually. This is just a gas jug that I found that we use, and I'm running this electric fuel pump here. So the suction side's going into the gas tank, and obviously this side will go to our fuel inlet. And this is just put a hose clamp on it to keep from leaking. And I wanted to bypass the mechanical pump because there's no telling what's in that gas tank. I cut the hose just to be safe, and we'll go ahead and hook this up to the fuel line that goes to our carburetor. It's a metal line, so pretty simple to do. And maybe we can get by without a hose clamp on this one, maybe not. I don't know, but let's find out. Alright, so you can see we got our fuel hose going to our electric fuel pump, going into our jug. That fuel inlet is right here, goes down to the fuel pump itself, and comes into our carburetor. And you can see there's our remanufactured tag, so hopefully this thing will at least run. I know it's been sitting for a long time, but I'm hoping that it'll at least run. So before I even put any kind of fuel to it, I'm going to get in the car and just spin over the key just to make sure that it actually does anything. Alright, wish me luck. Let's see what this thing does. Okay, that's good. So now that we know that the starter works, it engages, it is in fact spinning the engine over, I guess we're ready to go ahead and engage the fuel. So that's awesome. What I'm going to do now is I'll take two wires that control a fuel pump. Already got the ground on. Take this one, run it up under positive. Let's say you can hear the fuel pump working. Wrenching fuel. There it goes. Okay. Alright, so I just heard it fill up the bowl. Whenever you hear the fuel pump actually stop making as loud of a noise, it means we've got pressure, we've got fuel actually filling up the bowls. So now what I want to do is I'll pump the pedal just a couple times and we'll see if it'll run. I'm going to do that pumping of the pedal up under here just because I don't trust the pedal that's in it. I hear fuel. Okay, so that's awesome. Alright, let's turn it over. And battery. Wiggle you, wiggle you. Not bad. Ran pretty smooth, huh? Alright, well let's hook up some fuel to it and see what it does. The sound you hear is exhaust coming off of the manifold for our whatever emissions garbage. She's surging, she's trying. That's all she had. So we run out of fuel? No. Now that we know that it runs, we're trying to make it idle a little bit longer so I can do a walk around and let you guys hear the exhaust. It sounded like factory exhaust to me. But I wondered what happened was me moving the air cleaner might have been an issue. The choke doesn't really do much for anything, so I'm going to stick a screwdriver down the choke and just keep it open. Well, it's still cold, actually. We'll leave it shut. We'll just let it do whatever it wants to do. Still picking up fuel. And fuel. Let's go. Okay. Doesn't want to run by itself. So let's try it with the choke completely closed again. I think it's because I tapped the gas. One more time. I did unhook the electric fuel pump, but it still should run. But I can't keep it running without working our accelerator pump here, which surprisingly doesn't leak. That's impressive. Alright, I'm just going to set the camera up in the back and I'll start it up again and let you guys hear it. So I'd like for you to be able to hear both sides of the car. So unfortunately it will not stay running, and it's probably just because carburetor is nonsense. It's been sitting for a while, just won't stay running unless you keep working the pedal. So that's awesome though. The fact that it ran is incredible enough. You know, this is kind of like Rump, same situation where car sat for a while. This thing actually sat longer than Rump did and still ran. You know, it's amazing. So I'd like to at least try the mechanical fuel pump at some point. Another reason why I cut it loose is because it's got one of those filters for a return line system. Good old Thunderhead 289 is going to love that. And we actually talked about it before. This thing has a return system on it, where if you can see the filter right down there, see how it has like an outlet? That's coming off the side of the filter. All that does is just kind of send all the unwanted fuel that it doesn't need back into the tank. So it supposedly helps. It's supposed to help with heat soak and emissions and all that stuff on these later cars. It's really not a full return line system because fuel isn't actually going up all the way to the carburetor and then back down to the tank. So it's kind of a hinky way to do it, but I believe the Cordoba has the same system on it. So now I want to open up the trunk. You can see that the trunk lock cylinder's been removed. Looks like somebody did a little number. What's up, buddy? How you doing? You want on? You want to ride? Oh. No? Okay. Anyway, looks like somebody removed it. Didn't do it the right way. Just did the old 1-2 with the drill bit. Let's see if we can find that sucker right in there somewhere. There she is. Whoa! Alright. Oh, so there's the tag. Yes, the 2002 is right. That is in fact 17 years ago. Almost to the month. It's June now. Got the factory spare. Little polyester radial. Looks like it's a nice tire still. I bet it's never been out of the car. Dang. It still looks good. What we got? Oh, here's the radio. This is where it went. Is that the radio? Is that the factory one though? It's a cassette play. I don't think that's factory. Doesn't look like it to me. So, we got some belts down here. We got petrified sock. Kind of gross. Okay. What is it? A horn? So now I'm going to bring you guys inside while it's running and see if we can make anything work. So we'll turn our key. Oh. There she goes. Now remember, we don't have any coolant in here, so we can't run it too long. No gas gauge. See if any lights. Oh, do we have lights? Can't really tell. The dome light's a little too bright. Wish the radio was in here so we could make it work. Okay, let's turn the, what if we turn the heat on? The blower motor kicked on. Hold on, let me, is it doing anything? Well, it's not gonna get heat. I hear it. I heard it do something, so that's nice. Okay. All right. Check this out, man. I just can't believe it runs. Oh, that's good. Those are safe. Inside the car with me. I didn't do that. It actually died on its own. So, all right. We've got some really good potential here for a good project car. I'm excited about this thing because it runs, and that's impressive for sitting as long as it does. I mean, it looks awful. The car looks like junk. But what I want to do next is I think that we should, for one, we need to do some pressure washing for sure. You guys know this is a pressure washing channel after all. Haven't done one of those in a while, so we need to do that. And we need to clean it up, see if it actually moves. Before we pressure wash it, maybe we should see if it actually moves. So the next video, we're going to take this car and see if we can actually drive it out of the spot that it's sitting in. How about that? I think that sounds pretty fun. I think it will. Honestly, the way that it ran, I mean, it's going to be kind of difficult working the pedal and all that stuff, but we can make this thing run. And we can make it drive, I bet. If the transmission hasn't gone kaput at this point, then maybe we can make it go. Because the guy said that it was parked because the guy couldn't drive it anymore. Not because the car had issues, but because the guy who owned it had issues. So that's good, right? I mean, at his expense, unfortunately, that's a good thing. Now that Power Tour's over, we're going to get back into some regularly scheduled projects like this giant hunk of junk that we have before our eyes here. To be honest though, this thing is actually really nice. I like the car. It's got really nice lines on it. I know, right? But I love it. I mean, this thing's really cool. It ran, you just saw it run, so that's incredible for what it is. Been sitting for 17 years, and I'm honestly impressed by the fact that it can run. I was pretty certain that it would, so I'm pretty proud of it right now. So the next step, like I said, we're going to take it and drive it out of this junky spot that it's sitting in. We're going to take it up to the house, and we're going to see if we can do some work to it to make it a little bit more reliable, more dependable. We'll see if we can make a project car out of this. If this thing has 3 gears in it and it doesn't make any explosions, so we might just try to road trip this thing or something. We're going to make it something cool. Maybe I'll pressure wash it, or maybe I'll just leave it looking like it does. I don't know. You guys tell me down in the comments below what you want to see with this thing. I was thinking something like dropping it on the ground and making this thing super lowered and slammed, and just a cruiser. You know, don't touch anything mechanically really except for basic maintenance, maybe some exhaust, and then just leave it alone the rest of the way. Clean up the interior, clean up the outside, and then we'll just leave it like it is. I need to convert it to electronic ignition. I don't really care for the lean burn, so I know some guys out there are going to get mad at me for saying that. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. So, like I said, after Power Tour being done, we're going to get back to trying to post every single Friday. That's what I did before Power Tour, and now that that's out of the way, we should be able to continue on with that, and I'm excited about it. I love Power Tour, had a great time, but now we can get back to some really junky cars, and that's what I want. That's really what I'm excited about. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please leave a like down below. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave a comment. You can send me an email to the very end of the video. I think I'm going the right way. Also, you can send your projects to that same email. I always feature at the very end of the video. Order your t-shirts and your stickers, guys. And like I said, it's going to be an awesome time. I had a lot of fun on Power Tour, had a lot of great memories, a lot of great friends. I didn't make a video because it was a vacation for me. And now we're back to work. So thank you guys for hanging around and enjoying this late 70s Chrysler nonsense just as much as I do. And I'll see you in the next one.